Today's workout is slightly different. I decided to just show you a workout that isn't for time but rather for quality. So we'll have 3 parts. The first 2 parts are just completely for quality, seeing how well you can move, see how good you can just make every single movement and be conscious about it. And then the third one is a nice hearty little fast one to just get the heart rate pumping, and then that's seen as like your big finale for the day. So our warming up, we're going to do just 2 rounds. We've got quite a lot to get through, so a nice little shorter warm up so that you can get into the workout. 2 rounds of skipping or hops. I'll show you the hops if you don't have a skipping rope, otherwise just nice little single skips with your skipping rope, into some heaven and earth lunges, into some hip raises. So our hops over whatever weight you may have, or a book, a water bottle, anything that you've got lying around, to just simply jump over. We want to think about even just using a towel lying on the floor, really just anything to think about jumping over. Little jump up, over. Okay, so just little hops, just get the heart rate up a little bit. Our heaven and earth lunges we've done a few times now, so big step forward. You can keep that back knee on the floor or off the floor, and then we think about rotating through that inside leg to get the hips going, as well as the back. Swapping sides, same thing, inside arm, going up and down. And then our next movement is just a nice hip raise or glute raise, whatever you like to call it. We want to think about being down on the floor. I just want to get the best angle for you guys. Thinking about ankles nice and close to hands, relaxing down on the floor, pressing through those hips and back down. Amazing, squeezing the bum at the top. We're going to do just 2 quick rounds of that. We then get into our first piece of our workout. This movement is seen as slightly complicated just because it's very mobility orientated in the hips. So try and get down as low as you possibly can, and rather focus on getting that full range of motion rather than adding weight too quickly. So I'll show you that now. Our Bulgarian split squat. We want to try and get this front leg more forward than you would expect to give the hip space to move back without being too much on the toe. So foot nicely pumped forward. You can use a chair, a box, a bench, a bed, a couch, anything that you've got to elevate the foot. We want to think about elevating that foot nicely. Here you're going to need to move the foot a bit more forward again, and as we send the hips back down towards our bench, you want to sit down as low as you can and come up. Okay, try keeping the hips square, so face forward, allow the hips to face forward, down and up, down and up. We're going to do 12 on each side, so it's quite a lot. That's why I also say don't add the weight too quickly. What I don't want to see is that we have our weight and we were getting down nice and low, suddenly we add weight, and then we can only do short little pulses because it becomes so much harder. So make sure to not add too weight too quickly. Rather go down as low as you possibly can, come up, squeeze the bummy at the top. You'll really feel it in the hips, hamstrings, glutes and quads. So all in these nice big leg muscles. From there on, it's an elevated hip raise, so very similar to what we did in our warm-up, except for now feet on the box. So feet in the box now, chest on the floor. We want to think about up, all the way up, all the way back down, down, all the way up, back down. So just giving yourself more room now to go all the way up. Squeeze the bum at the top, back down. Again, on the exact same thing that you just did your Bulgarian split squats on. So a bench, a chair, a bed, anything that you can just pop your feet up. Now for the third one, the step ups, you obviously want to make sure you can step up to something nice and safe. Full foot, drive through the heel, come all the way up and all the way back down. Alternate feet, other foot goes up, So this is going to be a nice little leg burner. You're doing 3 rounds of this. So Bulgarian split squats, elevated hip raise, and step up. So not thinking about racing through it, but rather think about moving consciously through it and trying to squeeze everything nice and tight, keep the tummy tight, keep the chest up, and just make sure everything is moving well. We then go on to a little bit of an ab burner. So Superman, extensions or hold, tuck-ups or V-ups, and then hollow rock or hold. So I've given completely different alternatives there to make something easier or harder, again just depending on where we're at. So moving the mat, our Superman extensions. So we can either think about feet nice and close, heels together, lifting up and holding. When I think about squeezing the back, squeezing the bum, squeezing the heels together, that can just be a hold for 30 seconds. We're going to do 30, then 20, then 10. So the holds are done in seconds, or the movements are then done in reps. We then could also add a Superman extension. So all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down. Make sure to not force that movement, so don't go up higher than maybe that could cause discomfort. Make sure as you go up, you're squeezing the bum, squeezing the legs to make sure that the whole posterior chain is moving and that you're not just forcing something from the lower back. We then move into a tuck up or V up. Tuck up being the easier one. So making sure that we're going from a nice hollow position. We tuck knees to chest, back into that nice hollow position. Notice shoulders or feet don't touch the floor. So don't rest at the bottom, making sure that we're staying active at the bottom, down and up, down and up. So it can be hard. Don't just think that just because it's the easier option, it's not hard in general. A V up is that exact same movement, we're just thinking about keeping the legs straight and rather thinking about touching the toes. Touch toes, back down. Lovely. So V up or tuck up, and then I'll hollow hold or hollow rock. So that bottom position, that's what we're looking at. Bottom position, either holding, hands in front of you will make it slightly easier. That's our hold. Or add a gentle rock. Shoulders and feet stay the same distance away from each other, so we don't have these exaggerated shoulders or feet touching the floor. They stay nice and tight, not touching the floor whatsoever. And then our third piece, our favorite, is a good old squat jump. We want to think about sending our hips back, down, and a nice explosive jump. Okay, we don't want to land hard in the heels with the legs straight. Try and think about absorbing it nicely. So make sure that as you go down, you come up, you land with a soft knee to absorb it back into that next rep. So we're never landing hard with a straight leg. So our last piece, that's our burner for the day. A quick, short burst of energy. Give it as hard as you possibly can. 3 minutes of as many squat jumps as possible. Sorry. That is your score for the day. How many of those bad boys can you get in 3 minutes? Have an amazing day, guys. In South Africa, yeah, it's Freedom Day today. So hopefully you're enjoying your Freedom Day lockdown. Ironic, yes. Have an amazing day, guys. See you tomorrow.